background. So looks like this recent interview Nicolas Cage he gave is saying that he turned down Christopher Nolan movie Insomnia in like 2002. After that, like he turned down that offer. He never like heard back from Christopher Nolan. Basically, Christopher Nolan never hired him after that movie. In this interview, he's talking about also some other director who also gave him some chance in that movie, but he turned them down. After that, like he never gets called back from all this director. And when read the list here, I'm like, oh wow, I'm like really personally surprised by this because Insomnia is one of my most favorite movie from Christopher Nolan. Like also it's very underrated. But I really loved that movie. I really loved how that movie was so interesting, intriguing, same time so it was so good, and it took place in Alaska. If you have seen in Insomnia, that movie really portray how Alaskan life might be. So that's my one of my most favorite thing about that Insomnia movie. How Alaska, the sun does not go down. Like I think the sun stays up 24 hours. So of course, in that movie, I really like Robin Williams, but also Al Pacino was just absolutely amazing in that movie. So I don't know how Christopher Nolan ever thought, which role he thought, like Nicolas Cage could play in that movie. I'm really now curious because, Insomnia, both of these guys were amazing, Al Pacino and Robin Williams. Like, I cannot imagine Nicolas Cage playing either of this character. That means, of course, Nicolas Cage, he was in high demand after his movie came out, Face Off. After that movie, I feel like, yeah, a lot of people probably wanted to work with him because he was back then well-regarded actor. He was, end of the day, I will say, I don't think personally Nicolas Cage is a great actor. Like he's kind of like a one-trick pony. He always plays kind of same role in every movie. So I don't think he's very versatile actor like like many other actor Christopher Nolan works with, like Cillian Murphy, right? Uh, However, as I was saying, like earlier Nicolas Cage's life, he was in demand. So it's not unbelievable that upcoming director like Christopher Nolan wanted to work with Nicolas Cage, and he turned him down. Like what? And after that, Christopher Nolan never called him back. I tell you why, because Nicolas Cage, you are not that good actor. I don't think you will fit in Christopher Nolan universe. Christopher Nolan worked with big type actor like Matt Damon is working with, like all the upcoming superstar. Like he worked with many year Christian Bale when Christian Bale was playing Batman. He worked with Hugh Jackman. I would say Christopher Nolan does like working with upcoming superstar, right? Like on their prime time. So yeah, so I'm not like I'm really surprised that he was offered a role in one of my most favorite movies, Insomnia, that I liked. And also, I'm not surprised that Nicolas Cage never heard back from Christopher Nolan. You know what I mean? Also, sounds like what is his name? Anderson Cooper also never called him. Also, Woody Allen. So this is a Christopher Nolan year, obviously highly anticipated Odyssey movie coming out. I guess maybe that's why Nicolas Cage is talking about this. And he said, all of these big time director, they get their feeling hurt. I don't think it's about feeling hurt, if I'm being honest. It's more about that Nicolas Cage, you are not the guy he will work with. You know what I mean? You're not that good actor, Nicolas Cage. You're not the kind of actor that Christopher Nolan will work with, especially in his recent filmography, right? Like he works with Cillian Murphy, who is like, Cillian Murphy is one of the most dedicated actor, right? Like you cannot compare Cillian Murphy to anybody. Like the guy Christopher Nolan keeps working with, but also he's working with Matt Damon, of course. But he did work with Matthew McConaughey. Once again, Matthew McConaughey, he was in his prime time, he worked with Christopher Nolan. So, he's like, Christopher Nolan is very choosy when he chooses his actors. So, it's quite shocking news, but not surprising. But I don't think that, like, he got his feeling hurt that he never called him. I think Nicolas Cage is not that good actor that he never heard back from Christopher Nolan. And that's my thought on this news. I'm really surprised by this. Because I did like Insomnia, one of my favorite movies. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on other topics. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.